Luther's Small Catechism with Explanation, the Black and Maroon edition, copyright 2017, from Concordia Publishing House.
The sixth commandment: you shall not commit adultery. What does this mean? We should fear and love God so that we lead a sexually pure and decent life in what we say and do, and husband and wife love and honor each other. Question 66, the sixth commandment. What is adultery? Adultery is the unfaithfulness of a spouse who engages in or desires sexual intercourse with someone to whom he or she is not married. Read Matthew 19:4-6 to see what God intended marriage to be permanent and spouses to be faithful. He answered, have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them male and female, and said, therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let man not separate. What does this mean? Adultery. That word in the Bible is a very serious word, but I think in our culture, it has become less and less of a serious word. And in fact, people have replaced adultery to mean whatever they want with this. And so that's some issues that we have with adultery where we go, okay, that doesn't work right. Or a person is trying to explain their sin or justify their sin. Really, what adultery is that you are having any sexual gratification outside of marriage. Now, that could be before you're married. So usually they use the word in the Bible fornication with that, which means that you're sleeping together with somebody outside of marriage. You're not legally married. You're not covenantally married. And so you're just kind of faking it, or you're pretending, or you're living together, doing something like that. Or, and part of that is pornography or gratifying sexual behavior outside of marriage that way. Then the other one is when you're in married, and so you are married to somebody and you have a spouse and you're seeking it outside of your spouse and the relationship God has given you. God says sexuality is a good thing, and that is found in marriage. That's what he wants for us. And so this is prevalent, especially in our day and age with the problem of pornography. Not only is it a physical act, sometimes people just talk about it as physical of adultery, but it's also intellectually and emotionally that you get in that, or relationally, if you would. So I have run into people who will say, well, I haven't cheated on my wife, but I'm always talking to this other woman online. And I'm like, well, no, that's a form of adultery too, because what you're doing is you're wanting to have an emotional relationship with somebody who is not your wife and seeking it elsewhere. And usually what happens is that's a gateway drug. That's the, oh, well, I'll try this. And then it goes into like sexting or something like that. And then it goes into actual physical adultery that you have with it. So just to let you know that you can cheat on your future spouse or on your spouse by seeking an emotional relationship that's supposed to be found in marriage, or even if you had intellectually where you'd say this is what marriage should be, and so you're giving it to somebody else other than what your marriage is. Sometimes too, this can be wrapped up in how we take care of one another and our stewardship and our love for one another. And so you can have grounds for divorce because a person has cheated on them, or who has said, hey, I'm not going to support you with it. So adultery is a big concept. Really, simply put, is God said, well, save sex and sexual ideas and things like that for when you're married. Don't do it before. Find a spouse that is good and honorably upright, and a spouse that is Christian, those who share your same beliefs and things like that, and be married to them for the remainder of your life. This is a godly blessing. God wants this for you and for your children and your grandchildren. And so to think about it simply that way, God wants it this way. The rest of the stuff is really hurtful for you and for others, and God doesn't want that. He doesn't want you to be hurt. He doesn't want others to be hurt. He wants you to enjoy and celebrate marriage the way he intended.
The Lord bless your day as well as your week.